Welcome to Sakitto. We're here for the opening round of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. We're on in the west section of the track for the inaugural running of this series. First opened in 1962, Sakitto is one of the few circuits in the world to have a figure 8 layout with a 1.2 kilometre back straight which leads into the flat 130R corner, actually passing over the short stretch between Degner Curve and the hairpin, which was made famous by local man Kamui Kobayashi in the 2010 F1 race, when he made a series of overtakes at this single corner. Degner Curve was actually named after German driver Ernst Degner after he crashed his factory Suzuki 50 there during Suzuki's inaugural Japan Championship road race meeting on 3rd of November 1962. First used as the Japanese Grand Prix venue in 1987. Sakitto has hosted many a championship decider, notably in 1990 when Ayrton Senna crashed into Alain Prost intentionally in order to win the championship. More recently, this was where Sebastian Vettel wrapped up the 2011 Formula 1 Drivers' Championship. But we're here today for qualifying for the Robbins Racing League. Let's see how these boys get on. First Manchester lap time, that guitar dude. That's a 1:11.4, that's a decent lap time there. That guitar dude making his debut in the Robbins Racing League. Another touring car specialist, expected to be competing for a podium spot this evening. His time trial qualification was very strong, and he'll be open for a good debut in the Robbins Racing Championships tonight. There's Dovtinho, 1:12.8 for him. He's from the Czech Republic, 20 years old. He's been racing project cars too for over a year, and he reckons he's got over 120 hours of experience on this game. I'm not sure when he's fitted all that in, but he reckons that his favourite classes are the GT and GT3s, but he's willing to give anything a go and try his hand. As we see Smithy there, a 1:11.3, less than a tenth of a second off of pole, provisional pole at the moment. Smithy, another one of the touring car specialists as well. And co-founder of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship, brings it into the pits. Twanbury Hill, fastest lap so far, 1:10.9. Known on project cars too for having very strong pace in touring cars. He's expected to be fighting for the win this evening as well. His time trial suggests that he could be Luke's main rival for the pole position, and this is also his Robbins Racing debut. JR lock and load there with a 1:11.4. JR lock and load, obviously our usual resident commentator, founder of the Robbins Racing Discord. As we see Luke Bennett, 1:10.5. Very good lap time there from Luke, our pro esports driver from Birmingham, just 14 years old, so much talent on such young shoulders. Sixth we got the Console, 25-year-old from Norwich, new addition to the Marshall team in Robbins Racing. There we got Moff Dog, who made his debut in the GT cars, was one lap away from a touring car event at Laguna Seca until a collision with Lecky cost him right near the end of the race. There's Tro, 246. Tro's been with us almost since the very beginning of Robbins Racing. His first race with the Robbins Racing League came at Brands Hatch for the opening round of the Thursday Night Lights series back on August 22nd. He had a great battle with me, Andy C, in the feature race that day, a battle in which he ultimately came out on top. We're expecting Tro to be mid-pack for this one, but you can never rule him out of springing a surprise. Here's Lionsfoot, our Welsh driver from Swansea. We see a slower car getting out. Lions foot, also known as Scotty, and he's another of the guys to make his debut at the Alton Park event on August 29th. He's something of a specialist in wet conditions. This was showcased by a podium finish in the rain at the Red Bull Ring. He struggled in the touring car event last time out at Laguna Seca, but we're hoping to be finishing the top 10 or even bounce back better than that. As we see, oh, there's a little bit of a collision there. Turn 2. Just trying to find out who that was making the collision there with Lion's foot. That was Luke Bennett there, trying to come through. These boys need to make sure there's plenty of space between them when going around in the quali lap. Leave about 5 seconds in front and behind you. It's the safest option, best way to get your lap in. Lecky there, P6, 111.6. He's the co-founder of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship and also a specialist in this category. He pushed the esports driver Luke Bennett all the way in the Laguna Seca feature race and very nearly came out on top that day. He's a new addition to the Robbins Racing moderators team, and if their time trials are anything to go by, then he has a great chance of taking the fight to the top guys. With bags of experience in this class and excellent pace, makes Lecky an expected front runner this evening. As always, we see Zach Kenbo getting a little bit out of shape there on the exit of 130R. Lets the boys go through. Kenbo, our American driver. These races are run in the middle of the afternoon for his time zone, so hats off to him for his ability to compete in all of these races, or so many of them. He loves the GT4 category and he's heading up soon to be the Robbins Racing GT4 Championship, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. He's a Robbins Racing Marshal and we're delighted to have him on our team. There's Uni Clark P9, 112.8. Uni Clark is one of our British drivers, 39 years old, from Swindon, has lots of experience on project cars too. Been playing the game since release day, and he's got some good pace in the touring cars, managing P4 in quali at Laguna Seca in the touring car event before a first lap accident left him at the back of the field in the sprint race. He eventually finished that race in P3 on the track, but was unlucky to finish down in 8th due to a penalty. Expect Uni Clark to also be in the run-in, not too far from the front. There's Ugbar. He's also one of our moderators team. He's 45. He's from Hoogeveen in the Netherlands. He's been on project cars too for around 18 months. Ugbar's been a regular in both of the Season 1 championships, and he'll be desperate to prove his critics wrong tonight after he was the cause of a first corner pile-up on Saturday in the LMP1 championship. He's not so great in the touring cars, but he's one to watch this coming Sunday at Monza in the GT3 Championship. He's something of a track specialist around there, so look out for Ugbar on Sunday if you're able to tune in for that one. Johnson Walnut there making his Robbins Racing debut. Don't know too much about him, haven't really heard much, but let's see how he gets on today. Expecting good things from him. As Luke Bennett, our provisional pole sitter, comes over the line. It's not an improvement that time around. Luke's record in the Robbins Racing Championships so far, his career has been absolutely glittering, with 6 wins from 9 starts so far, 8 podiums, just the one DNF where his wheel gave up on him. Very unlucky there, but burst onto the scene at Alton Park in wet conditions actually. He absolutely was the class of the field in that one, won by over 20 seconds to his nearest rival. And although his other wins haven't been quite as dominant, in the dry. He's still always there or thereabouts fighting for the wins. And as I say, 67% win record so far in the Robbins Racing. So always one to watch. Luke Bennett, star of the future. And he's 0.2 of a second up so far on this one. Looks like JR could be staking a claim for that P3 position here. You got that Guitar Dude and Smithy looking over their shoulders at the moment as JR comes through Spoon, exits the final corner, taking not much curb, in fact no curb at all. What's this going to be for JR? Comes on the line, that's P3 for JR. Bring the action live and uninterrupted here on the Robbins Racing YouTube channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as it helps a great deal. Let your racing friends know that we're live on here and will be for the next half an hour, 45 minutes or so. And for the all from the opening round of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. You can join us on 4 nights this week. This is the first of 4. September 26th, we've got the Thursday Night Lights series live from the USA, where we'll be taking the Radical SR3s around Road America. Qualifying set to get underway at 8 PM. We've got LMP1 Championship on Saturday at the Zhuhai Circuit in China, and on Sunday we're back for the GT3 Season 2 at Monza, 8 PM. All of these races live on the Robbins Racing YouTube channel right here. You know where to watch the action. We're almost ready for lights out here at Sakitto for the Sakitto West Circuit. We're almost ready for lights out. And we're underway here. It's a poor start from Luke Bennett. Twanbury Hill, JR both straight up ahead of him. Also Smithy, looks like Luke got absolutely swamped, bogged down off the line there. And Twanbury Hill leads the race as they come towards 130R. We see an onboard there of Luke. Let's see if he can avoid losing any more positions. We look to be pretty clean there through the first corner. Twanbury Hill leads, JR second, we've got Smithy third, Luke fourth, then that Guitar Dude is fifth, Lecky sixth, Doftinio seventh. We've got the Console in eighth, the Uni Clark ninth, Kembo, American driver, is 10th. We've got Muff Dog in 11th, Ugbar 12th. Then we've got in 13th place, we've got Johnson Walnut, and he's just been passed there by, well, looks like Ugbar's got back past him again, but Johnson Walnut holding on to P12. As we see, it looks like Luke all over the back here of JR. So they come through that chicane. And JR covering the inside line there. He knows how to do that. Smithy, we're hearing on the team radio, got hit with a slowdown penalty there from the race director. Let's hope it hasn't affected him too much. Looks like Luke's got past JR there on the exit of Spoon Curve. Luke up into P2. He's made up for the poor start just a little bit, coming back to P2, dropped to P4 at the start. JR covering the inside. Oh no! As JR contact there with that Guitar Dude, and he's dropped down. He's dropping more places by the second, and there's a massive crash coming through 130R. It looks like about 5 cars involved there. We've got Muff Dog, Ugbar, Lionsfoot, Kembo, and JR all off the track at the 130R corner. That's a disastrous start. Looks like Troll also got caught on the lap 2 here at Sakitto. Some sort of problem. But Luke Bennett down in P2 for company with Lecky right behind him, and they've also got the Console breathing down their necks out. A train of 6 cars, which Luke seems to be pulling away from now. But we got that Guitar Dude having to defend quite heavily here from Lecky. And it looks as though that Guitar Dude has something wrong with the car, just team radio there. That Guitar Dude saying that he's got a slight problem with his aerodynamics and the lack of downforce possibly there, as we see someone going very wide there. It looks like Uni Clark. Smithy try around the outside there of the Console, not making the move stick, but he's going to try around the outside of the next corner, and that is a beautiful move there from Smithy, 6'9", Fantastic move from the outside there of the console. He had to put a lot of trust in the console there to make sure that they were both clean. As we now see Luke getting absolutely swamped. He's been passed by Lecky and Smithy. And contact there between that guitar dude and Uniclock, I think, having contact there in P5 and 6. Or was it that guitar dude down to P8? The console P7. And Johnson Walnut has inherited P6 from all of this. Johnson Walnut, making his Robbins Racing debut, started down in P13, has found his way up to P6 or at the end of lap 3 here. So Twanbury Hill having a lonely race at the front, leads by 9 seconds at the moment. The console's into the pits. First one to blink at the end of lap 3. He must have some damage because there's no mandatory stop for this one. And JR Lock and Load likewise. So the field's settling down a little bit. We got Muff Dog here just in front of Tro for P8 and 9. Looks like Smithy here closing in on Lecky for our final podium spot at the moment. The console and JR seem to be having some lengthy damage repairs at the moment. Disastrous start to the race for them. As we see Smithy pulling out of the slipstream, and he's now ahead of Lecky. Seems Lecky's car must be down on pace, I think. He seems to be about 5-6 mile an hour down. I don't know if he had a slowdown penalty from the race director there. Maybe his delta was being set. But Lecky down to P5. He's got Johnson Walnut all over the back of him now. And Moff Dog seems to be keeping the gap there to Tro. So Lecky now closing back onto the back of Uniclock. Uniclock again having a good outing in the touring cars. Told you he was quick before the start of this race. Did a good job here, great job in fact, in the touring cars at Laguna Seca in the Thursday Night Lights series in qualifying. Was very unlucky in both the races actually. So Lecky's not going to have it all his own way in this battle. JL Lock and Load still being serviced in the pits. We don't know if his team are going to retire that car. It's been an absolute disaster for him. As we see, looks like Muff Dog under some pressure, and he's had a spin, and there's 2 cars off. Looks like Muff Dog and Lion's Foot there. Lion's Foot reacting to what looked like, I think that was Muff Dog's. It wasn't, no, it was, who was that? Don't know, but looked like Muff Dog losing the car on the exit of 130R. And the console reacting to that. And ultimately, it looks like the console's actually retired the car. Maybe that damage was too significant to continue. So Muff Dog having a little spin on the exit of 130R, and it looks like the console, they tried to avoid it, ended up putting the car in the barriers. We're just having a look at the leaders, and Luke Bennett's taken 0.7 of a second out of Twanbury Hill's lead on lap 6. Can anyone tell me? Okay, thank you. How many? Sorry, say again. Alright, cheers, thank you. Luke Bennett closing the gap massively on Twanbury Hill. Gap's now down to 4 seconds, but with only 2 laps to go, it might be too late for him. Lecky's still right on the back of Uni Clark. These two pretty even at the moment. Sorry, other way around, excuse me. That's Lecky in front of Uni Clark. That guitar dude driving a damaged car, coming under increasing pressure now from Tro. Looks like Tro's got a lot better straight line speed. That guitar dude though, pulling away through the corners. He's got excellent skill through those corners. And looks like Tro's lost the car going through Degner. But Muff Dog also losing the car as well behind him. We're watching Lecky pulling away a little bit here. As our race leader, Twanbury Hill, is onto the last lap. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead of him. That looks like JR. He's 2 laps onto the penultimate lap, sorry. And JR there pulling off to the side. That's what we want to see. Blue flag, when blue flags are waved, that's what the boys do then. That's what we are like at Robbings Racing. As we see Lecky right on the back of Smithy. He seems to have made some kind of mistake. Coming out of Degner. Lecky right on the back of him. And Lecky goes up the inside for P3. And Uni Clark with him. Smithy down to P5. We didn't see what happened there. We didn't catch that. Our race director didn't get that on the recording. But it looks as though Smithy's had an absolute mare somewhere on that lap. And these three now going toe to toe. Out of spoon now. And Smithy going down the inside here of Uni Clark. Uni Clark may try and get the slipstream off of Lecky, but it looks as though Smithy's going to run him out of road. And Smithy tried looking down the inside of 130R. Had to go onto the grass to take evasive action there. Uni Clark all the time watching this battle, looking to feast on their leftovers, as we see Lecky going around the outside there, holding on to P3. Smithy is going to be desperate to get that back on the last lap. Here's our race leader, Twanbury Hill. He's led all of this race off of the line. He's got Luke Bennett closing in on him, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late, as we've got see a lapped car or a back marker in front of them. That looks like Kenbo. Twanbury Hill out of the last corner. It's been a valiant effort from Luke Bennett attempting to close in, but it looks as though Twanbury Hill is going to close it out and win here in the sprint race for round 1 of the Robbings Racing Touring Car Championship. Smithy's taken 3rd place, the final podium spot, and Uni Clark is 4th. But the race director has given Smithy a penalty for, I think that was corner cutting. Uni Clark will take our final podium spot. Smithy is 4th. Lecky finishes in P5. That was an excellent battle there between those three in the closing laps. We got Tro in 6th position. Solid drive from Tro. Consistency wins out for Tro. That guitar dude, with an unfortunate bit of damage to that car, didn't pit in. He would have lost a lot more time had he pitted. Decided to stay out. P7 for him. We've got Muff Dog in 8th place with 24 seconds down. We got Johnson Walnut in 9th. Lions Foot's 10th after a little bit of a on-off race for him. We got Ugbar down in 11th. Daftinho coming out of Spoon now, will finish in 12th place, flashing his lights there for us. Kenbo just about on the lead lap, I think. JR with Disaster. Obviously you can join us for 4 nights this week. We're on Thursday night, September 26th. The Thursday Night Lights series will be returning for a season 2. We're live from Road America at 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday night. We're going to be racing the Radical SR3s, and it's going to all be live on this channel from 8 PM BST, that's UK time. So be sure to join us on a live and dedicated and exclusive channel, and you won't miss a piece of the action. Following on from that, the Rubbings Racing family travels to the Far East for round 2 of the LMP1 Championship. A dramatic and controversial opening round has seen the race stewards with their hands full, and the drama is set to continue on September 28th at the Zhuhai Circuit in the south of China. Once again, the action exclusively available here on the Rubbings Racing channel. We then head back to Europe at the Monza Circuit for the GT3 season opener. Season 2 of the Rubbings Racing GT3 Championship will begin at Monza on September 29th. We're expecting a few more guys to stake a claim to Edwin V77's title. Luke Bennett and Jasko VR amongst the early pre-season favourites. But we'll only know once qualifying gets underway, live here at 8 PM Sunday, September 29th. So we're here for qualifying for the feature race here. They're very, very strict around here. Touring cars in general have very, very tight regulations on what parts of the track you can use and what parts you can't. It's governed very much by the white lines in this category, and especially around this track it can be uncompromising. Twanbury Hill there lays down the benchmark, a 1:10.5, very strong lap time there from him. That was Luke's pole time, I think, a 1:10.5 in the last race, the sprint race. That guitar dude, 1:12.4, 2 seconds off the pace at the minute. Looks like Lions Foot coming over the line now to complete his first hot lap, 1:15. As we see Daftinho going wide there at Degner, going under the bridge, under the overpass. That won't do him any good. Twanbury Hill and Kenbo have had current lap times chalked off by the race director. Luke Bennett coming over the line. Must have made a mistake somewhere on that lap. As that guitar dude improves to a 1:11.8. Troy comes over the line to start his lap. Here's Ugbar coming out of Spoon Curve. Dutch driver from Hoogeveen crosses the line. He's P4 at the moment. Here's the console, pulls over, out of the way on this one I think, but the car behind him seems to also be telling him to wait. Twanbury Hill exiting the final corner onto the pit straight to see if he can improve his pole time. Not on this occasion, as Lecky there goes second, puts his car on the front row. And that guitar dude also improving on his last lap. Uni Clark there, P4, 1:12.5. We're expecting Luke Bennett to pull something else out of the hat, as Lecky it seems has got some kind of mechanical fault. Let's hope that his team can get that car out in time to do another lap, but if not, it's not going to be too bad for him. As long as they can get that car fixed for the race, that's the main thing. Sitting P2 there, currently Lecky. We ride with Luke Bennett coming into Spoon Curve. Nails it on the entry. Tidy on the middle part. And lovely exit there, just brushing the curve a little bit. Perfect there from Luke. As he goes to the short run to the line now. And it's provisional pole position for Luke by 0.03 of a second. But he's got a little bit of traffic coming out of 130R. And, well, Luke's not going to be happy with that. Looks like Twanbury coming out of the P1 and 2, provisional P1 and 2 in qualifying, having a little bit of a ding-dong there. Luke coming off worse in that one. He's got time to pit in and start another lap though. Session's not over for them. JR Lock and Load has gone P4 with a 111.3. He'll be looking desperately to make up for the last session in which, well, the last sprint race in which he spent about 2 laps in the pits having car repairs. All started on lap 2, turn 1 for him in the last race. Twanbury Hill coming out of the last corner to start another flying lap. He's got time to do, I think, 3 laps if he wants. There's Tro 246. Nice exit. Not really using much of the track there, Tro, on the exit of Spoon. Could definitely maximise their speed a little bit more through there, but he's improved on his previous lap. 0.4 quicker, P11 for Tro. Lion's Foot now out of the final corner. And he crosses the line, not an improvement this time around. Smithy comes over the line, still P8 for him. Smithy just mentioning there that Johnson holding him up there on that lap. Maybe the race stewards will be having a look at that one. Sakitto going a little bit wide, but keeps it together. A little bit of grass being kicked up, maximising the track limits and more. Nice entry there into Spoon. Not going too wide there in the middle part, and maximising the exit on the way out. What's this going to be for that Sakitto? Currently in P5, and he stays P5 for the time being. Twanbury Hill seems to have had a bit of a mare coming through Degner, and I don't think he's going to make it around to start another lap time. Looks like we're all set at the front here. Luke Bennett on pole position provisionally with a 110.4. He's on another lap, coming through what is the final chicane on the GP track. It's turn 2 on this one. Twanbury Hill not making it over the line in time to start a final flying lap. So can Luke rub salt in the wounds and go even faster on this final run? Into Spoon, throwing the car in on the entry. Nice tight exit as well, and still maximising the edge of the track. Luke Bennett, is this going to be even quicker for him? It is. I'd won 10.3 from Luke. He's 2 cents clear. Not much of a difference between the two of them, but it's enough. So Luke Bennett starting on pole position for our feature race. Twanbury Hill, not very far away at all, on the front row alongside him. So it's Luke, our 14-year-old pro esports driver, on pole position. We've got Twanbury Hill, who made an excellent start to his Robbins racing career with a victory in the feature race. The sprint race in the last one, and looking to repeat that again in this one. But Luke, if he stays out of trouble in this one, it's going to offer him a very, very stiff test. We've got Lecky in 3rd position, JR Lock and Load in 4th. If you're looking to bounce back from a disastrous feature sprint race just a few minutes ago, we got that guitar dude 5th. Kembo, our American driver, in 6th position. The console, our Norfolk man in 7th, 25 years old. Uni Clark, a 39-year-old man from Swindon. We got Smithy down in 9th, disappointing qualifying for him. Johnson Walnut on his debut in 10th. Duftino 11th. We got Moff Dog 12th. Tro 13th. Lions Foot and Ugbar at the back. 22 laps of Sakitto West. We're almost ready to get underway here. We're almost ready for lights out, boys. We'll have the 5 weird lights, and when they're out, we'll be underway here for the feature at Sakitto. We're underway. It's another terrible start from Luke Bennett. Almost exactly the same as the sprint race. We've got Twanbury Hill straight up into the lead. Lecky follows him through. Is JR going to have a look up the inside of Luke? Luke down to P4 before we even got to the first corner. Twanbury Hill leads the race. We've got Lecky 2nd, JR Lock and Load in 3rd, although Luke has gone back around the outside of him into 3rd place. Got that guitar dude 5th. Then we've got the console. Kembo up the inside of the console into 6th place. We've got Smithy in 8th, up in position. We've got Duftino up ahead of Muff Dog. We've got then Uni Clark, Johnson Walnut. Johnson Walnut up into P8 there. Luke Bennett forcing his way up into 2nd there. Lecky falling right back down the field. Lecky now down in P12. Didn't catch that live, but it looks as though Luke is taking responsibility for that one. Dropping back through the field. So at the front, Twanbury Hill leads the race by just over a second. We've got JR Lock and Load in 2nd place. He's got that guitar dude breathing down his neck in 3rd. Luke must have had a slowdown. He's down in P4 now. It's Kembo, our American driver. Then we've got Johnson Walnut. Uni Clark with Tro all over the back of him, coming through 130R. JR keeping the gap to Twanbury Hill. Twanbury not having this race to himself. The gap under a second, coming through Degner. And you can see there, JR closing visibly on Twanbury. We know that JR is going to relish every opportunity he gets to compete in these races. As we see Luke now he's going to try around the outside here of that guitar dude. Can he make it stick around Spoon Curve? He's looking very racy as JR has a little bit of a poor corner there, and these two close right onto the back of him. We got Luke hanging it around the outside, and that is an absolutely fantastic move. Managed to hold that on, and now he's going to try and out drag him. Is Luke going to try around the outside of 130R? This would be an unbelievable move if he does it. That guitar dude holding the inside. Luke manages to pull it off. He's going to have the inside for the next right-hander. Luke Bennett, absolutely fantastic. Double overtake on that back straight there. And Luke Bennett up to P2. He's got 3 seconds now to Twanbury Hill. Can he make that up? He's got a hell of a task ahead of him. But we've got 20 laps here to go. And we've got, looks as though JR lost out a little bit there at the last corner on the last lap there. Meanwhile, Moff Dog's got the console for company. And we can see on the windscreen, on the camera there, that rain is starting to fall. And it's really coming down. I think these guys are all going to come in at once now. Riding with JR, you better request the pit stops, because it looks as though that Guitar Dude and Kembo are going to lose out enormously because they're staying out. The rain. That Guitar Dude and Kembo taking a gamble. Kembo, you can see struggling there across the grass. Unbelievable. The rain, it looks like a typhoon has just suddenly hit us here at Sakitto. It was a very, very nice sunny day, and now everyone's running for cover, trying to get under shelter at the moment. These guys are going to stick it out on track, and it looks like the race director's going to keep it going for now. That Guitar Dude is in the wall. All sorts of aquaplaning at the moment we're seeing. And you can see Muff Dog, who I believe he's been into the pits. No, he hasn't. Muff Dog hasn't pitted either. So let's have a look and see who's the highest running wet runner. Uni Clark there on slick tyres. Johnson Walnut likewise. JR also on the slicks. He's saying that all of the first 9 runners are on slicks. It might be, the graphic might not be showing the right thing. So it looks as though the highest running wet runner is JR. JR Lock and Load is our net race leader at the moment. Seems like the rain has gone as quickly as it came. Sun's coming out now. Unbelievable scenes here at Sakitto as we see JR Lock and Load. He's changed to the wet tyres, as have a lot of these guys. Twanbury Hill on the wet tyres, as is Johnson Walnut. Oh, did anybody stay out on the slick tyres? Lion's Foot seems to still be on the slick tyres. So we had about 1 lap of rain and suddenly the sun's come back out, and now we've got bright sunny conditions. All the guys who switched to wet tyres are going to struggle in a minute because it's going to be bone dry. So our race leader now is JR. He's got 2.5 here to Twanbury Hill. Both of these guys on the wet tyres, we believe. Johnson Walnut there struggling on the wet patches. We can hear Smithy there complaining on the radio about he's on the wrong tyres, and this weather really has caught everybody out enormously. It's going to be a short stint here on these wet tyres. You can see there's already a dry line appearing again. And JR Lock and Load currently mastering these wet conditions better than all the others at the moment. As you can see, there's massive puddles sat there in the middle of Degner, so we're nowhere near dry tyres just yet. Puddles all over the track. But in these changeable conditions, JR with the strategy. And there's a collision. Looks like Smithy's involved. And Tro and Duftinho? No, it's Tro, Smithy and Muff Dog maybe caught up a little bit in that one. Just hearing a team radio, apparently Tro struggling in these conditions through 130R. Almost a collision there. Coming out of the pit lane for Duftinho. Seems like JR's lost the lead while we were watching the collision between Smithy and Tro. Twanbury Hill now leads the race. JR's last lap, a 122.4. Miles off. But he's sticking with the back of Twanbury and he'll be looking to gain that position back as soon as possible. The track now almost bone dry apart from the odd puddle. There's a lot of standing water going through Spoon Curve there. It looks like a lapped car getting in the way. Struggling going through the last corner. Twanbury's got heavy damage to that car. Can he continue in that state? We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. JR with the lead. 3 seconds now, the gap. That looked like it was Duftinho there getting involved with the lead battle. He must have had a problem there. I know Duftinho is a clean guy. Hold on to your horses, guys, because the rain's coming down again, and heavy fog is forming. We've got heavy fog and heavy rain forming here at Sakitto Circuit. The unpredictable, uncompromising conditions. The visibility here, absolutely horrendous. We can barely see what's going on at all. As we see Duftinho go very wide there through Spoon. The standing water having a massive effect through there. JR leading the race. He does a 120.2 in that last lap. Let's see what Twanbury can do. Twanbury's 7/10 of a second faster that time around. This is going to be a good battle between these two. And the fog seems to have cleared up. We've got clear conditions again now. Well, here in Japan, obviously it's renowned for having earthquakes, so don't write off one of them. But for the time being, it looks like we've got clear conditions once again. Massive puddles on the exit of Degner. Can see on the apexes in particular where the water's all built up, we can see lots of puddles, lots of splashes as the car clip the grass. JR losing a lot of time. Seems, I think maybe he might have been held up there by Lecky. No, it wasn't Lecky, it was Smithy. And Twanbury Hill's bringing the car into the pit lane for what we suspect must be dry tyres. First one to blink. Can it pay off? All the undercut work. Can Twanbury jump JR and make an early switch that will pay off? It looks as though he might have made the right decision. JR going wide at the first corner onto the grass. And maybe those wet tyres starting to overheat now. Certain parts of the track it's still soaking wet, and other parts it's bone dry. It's just so difficult. I'd hate to be in the position of these guys having to make that decision. You just don't know what you've got to do. And the strategist on the pit wall can only do so much. When you've got the feeling of the car and you're feeling every move on the track, you've got so much more data than what they've got. The hands-on experience is so much more valuable in these conditions. It seems as though the first part of the track is bone dry, and then the sector 3, especially in Spoon Curve, where you've got the lowest point on the track, and all the water's just built up into one spot. But fog is now forming here at Sakitto. Once again, the visibility diminishing rapidly. As we see Kenbo here, he's got Uni Clark for company, and as we see them going off into the distance in the fog, and it looks as though Uni Clark, yep, he's got the move. P5 for Uni Clark. Nice move there. We didn't see it because of the fog, but looked like a good one. Twanbury Hill now closing onto the back of Kenbo, and looks as though Kenbo's lost the car going through Spoon. Kenbo struggling to keep a hold of the car in these semi-wet conditions. He's got Lion's Foot closing onto the back of him. There's Muff Dog in the background, and Smithy behind him there, just exiting the... No, that's not Smithy. Fastest. That guitar dude's setting very, very fast lap time. 1:17.1 last time around. Goes a little bit wide there through Spoon, and that's the commentator's curse. I think they're catching him out. We think that JR is still on the wet tyres at the moment. Could be a right decision in the long run. A few of the boys there still on wet. Lion's Foot still on the wets. I think Smithy may still be on the wet tyres. And we're just hearing on the weather forecast, a few of the teams now telling us that they're expecting more rain in the next few minutes. So hold on guys, because this could get even more dramatic. As we see JR still on the wet tyres. Well, this is the big decision to make now. Will he stay out on these wet tyres, or is he going to switch to the dries, play it safe? We just don't know. This is so unpredictable, this race. As we're now heading into the second half of this race, and the rain is coming, and it's absolutely pouring down all of a sudden. And we've now got full wet conditions once again, and JR must be absolutely grinning inside that cockpit, because he stayed out 15 seconds clear with the wet tyres, and now he's going to benefit from this. That guitar dude likewise still on the wet tyres. We've got the console in third. JR with a comfortable advantage at this stage. I'd love to be in the position he's in right now. Totally made up for the sprint race. We see Lecky coming into the pit lane for wet tyres now. This race has gone from bad to worse for him. Luke Bennett setting fast lap times of 1:17.4 last time around. I dare say it'll be a bit slower this time. Smithy with a 1:17.7. Lecky coming out of the pits on dry tyres by the looks of it, but it looks like quite an inspired decision, because the track is drying out as Lecky spins out of the first corner. JR there coming through to lap him, but as quickly as the rain has come, it's now gone, and we have bright sunshine once again here. You really don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next in this one. Oh, that's Uni Clark going very, very wide there through Spoon, and Lion's Foot takes the position very gladly. Got a little bit of a battle going on behind them. Smithy, no, that's not Smithy. Muff Dog there, making his way through some traffic. That's Uni Clark at 8th and 9th place there. Muff Dog and Uni Clark go through 130R. Muff Dog takes the place. And that's Johnson Walnut there, a lap down. He shouldn't really be getting involved in that one, but looks like he is anyway. Johnson Walnut just saying there that he has the right to unlap himself, but if they catch up and go faster than him, he will let them by. We arrive now with Muff Dog. He's got Lion's Foot closing in on him. And the fog has returned once again. The visibility here almost impossible. And these boys showing their skill, showcasing their talent here, keeping it together in these conditions. Here's Luke Bennett in P4. Had a bit of an unfortunate race, got caught out a little bit with the weather. Finds himself 32 seconds off of JR's pace at the moment. Muff Dog coming under pressure here from Kenbo. The American is all over the back of him as they come out of Degner. Is he going to look to the inside of the hairpin? It looks like he's going to, yep, and he's made the move. Kenbo up into P6. And they make their way past the lapped car. It looks like Ukbar there moving out of the way. Gap at the front, JR 16 seconds clear of Twanbury Hill. Twanbury Hill, no, that's that guitar dude is second. And that guitar dude actually doing a quicker lap on the last time round, half a second quicker than JR. Looks as though the track is drying up on certain parts at the moment. The fog has cleared once again, and we've now got clear sunshine again. For how long, we just don't know, although we can take a guess that it will have heavy rain in about 2 minutes. And fog shortly following. Here we go, we've got some rain. Here we go. We shouldn't have come to Japan at the end of September. This was a recipe for disaster. Clearly it's typhoon season in this part of the world. Never in all my life have I seen such unpredictable conditions at a motor race. I honestly think that these guys will be better off if they just put some wet tyres on and stayed on them. Because at this point, the track is never going to be dry enough to actually drive around in slicks. If I was driving in this situation, I would definitely leave those wet tyres on. It's the only safe way to go at the moment. JR figured that out very, very early on. Stayed on the wet tyres for most of this race. And he's reaping the benefits of that decision Now 15 seconds, not quite as much. Sakitto closing the gap slightly, but not enough. The console doing a solid job in third. Runs always, he goes a little bit wide there through Spoon in these torrential conditions. Keeps it together though on the exit. He's got Luke closing the gap. Luke gaining all the time. 3 seconds. Luke closed in on JR on that previous lap. Swanbury Hill is also on the pace at the moment. Luke 2 seconds quicker than JR that time around. So here's our race leader. He's had a very, very lonely one. An inspired strategy call from JR leaves him in a comfortable position. Not too many laps now. 4 laps to go. That guitar dude also with a good strategy call. As we see Luke Bennett now closing onto the, well, he's closing the gap to the console rapidly now. 3 seconds. He's closed in on that last lap, and it looks as though Luke is going to be eyeing him up in a couple of laps time. Track now drying up again. Clear skies once again here. Swanbury Hill and Smithy both into the pits for the dry tyres, we presume. We're going to ride on board here with Luke Bennett. We can see now there's the console just in front of him. As we can see, rain on the windscreen there of Luke. That's also spray from the console's car. Can Luke rescue a podium spot in the final few laps here? Look at that puddle on the inside of the exit of Degner. Unbelievable. Lions foot under pressure from Kenbo for P6. Right on board with Kenbo now. Looks pretty good through the 130R there. Lions foot a little bit wide. Kenbo picks up the pieces and he's going to go around the outside of the next corner, but he's got a little bit wide. And Lions foot's back up the inside. This is good fighting here. Good little battle for these guys. Lions foot holds the position for now, but Kenbo all over the back of him still. Through Degner we go, and it's looking very, very close between these guys at the moment as they both go wide to avoid that puddle. Rain is absolutely pouring down again as we see Luke Bennett now putting pressure on the console. How long is the console going to put up this fight? As we see a slight bit of contact there, but it's okay, still going, both of them, as we see the console defending everything he can from Luke. Luke only a second quicker on that last lap. So the pace difference isn't quite as much in these heavy rain conditions. But a console hitting the puddle there, going a little bit wide, and Luke is going to go up the inside, and Luke looks to have had the position going under the overpass. Luke up into P3, keeps his almost 100% record of finishing on the podium. In fact, every race that he has finished, he's been on the podium so far in his Rubbings racing career. Luke Bennett, and proving once again what a young star this man is. JR there with a 124.3 on that last lap. That guitar dude following that up, he's only a tenth off of JR's time, 124.4 there, as we see the back marker getting out of the way. Luke's last lap there, a 1 minute 21.9. looks like. Who's that in the background behind Ugbar? Our race leader JR Lock and Load is on to the final lap here at Sakitto. He's driven an excellent race, a very, very good strategy call there. I don't know if that was from him or his team, but it's benefited him, and he has a 16-second lead as he comes round the turn 2 on the final lap here. He's got comfortable lead here to that guitar dude as he comes round on a little bit of traffic. I think that might be Ugbar there. So JR now just coming through the last couple of sectors here. It was an unfortunate race for JR in the sprint race. He was running very, very handily in the first couple of laps, and then on lap 2 had that big collision. He ended up with enormous damage to that car, had to actually pit in and spent about 2 laps in the pits. But he's driven a stellar race today. A little bit of a slip there going through his spoon, but keeps it together as he comes out of the final corner now. JR Lock and Load flashes his lights. JR Lock and Load coming over the line now to win the feature race. This is race 2 of the Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship. JR Lock and Load is our winner. That guitar dude coming round spoon now, and he's kept the gap to JR towards the end of this race. It looks as though he's going to hold off Luke Bennett here to take the second spot. So that guitar dude is second. We've got Luke Bennett, who had to make a bit of a comeback in that race, ended up on the podium, keeps his 100% record of finishing on the podium going. We've got the console, misses out on the podium by a couple of laps. He finishes in 4th. And then we've got an enormous gap now to Muff Dog, who is down in 5th spot. Looks like he might just make it round in time to finish. Muff Dog having a little bit of a spin, but he's just about going to make it round. Muff Dog out of the final corner, slips through a couple of the puddles. The track's dried up again here, but he's over the line in P5. I want to thank everyone who's competed today, who's taken part in the race. Thank you to everyone who's watched live on YouTube on the Rubbings Racing official channel. We'll see you guys next time on Thursday night for the Thursday Night Lights series. We'll be live on here from 8 PM on Thursday. It will be both myself and JR commentating on that one. But from all of us at Rubbings Racing, thank you very much. We'll see you on Thursday.